surrounded by wrestling fans. Not sports entertainment fans. Professional wrestling fans! Professional wrestling! This is it! This is us standing up! This is
the Wrestling Matters Podcast, a podcast that stands up for professional wrestling. Why? Because wrestling matters. So join the revolution, because the revolution is now. Hey, start the show.
World, look into my eyes. When you see me on a show, when you see these fans, you know you've got the best in the damn world. We are ICW and you're gonna know our name. Here we fucking go!
Well, enough is enough, and it's time for a change!
Professional wrestling! This is it! This is us standing up!
Yes! 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 Yes!
That's 13-14!
Make it till death!
Dina, I am the best in the world.
Cause that's the bottom line. Cause Stone Cold Simpson.
Ladies and gentlemen, it is time for another episode. That's right, another edition of the ICW podcast. My name is Anthony Walker. Thank you so much for tuning in to listen and take the time in to tune in and listen. Today's show, or today's podcast, is I'm going to review What's Your Boggle. Yes, you heard me correct, okay? What's Your Boggle, which is spelled Google but without the G at the beginning of it. Replace the G with a B. And this took place July 13th, 2014. And it kicked off with Jackie Polo on the mic, introduces Mark Coffey, and ICW 0G title match, which saw Mark Coffey defending against Kenny Williams. Drop kick from the start by Kenny sends Mark into the corner, then a springboard elbow gets a near fall, then hits a Hurricane Rana. Second rope clothesline gets a near fall by Kenny. Kenny then goes for his finisher, but Mark counters and hits a hard clothesline. Mark in total control of Kenny, hard chop gets a near fall, knee to the back gets a near fall. Hard forearm rocks Kenny, advantage Mark, Kenny fights back. Kenny too quick for Mark, drop kick to the gut, roll up gets a near fall for Kenny. Pace quickens, Mark hits a deadlift suplex, gets a near fall. Sunset flip gets Kenny a near fall, then a single leg drop kick gets Kenny another near fall. Jumping quackbuster off the second rope gets Kenny, as Kenny goes for the cover, Jackie gets involved, Mark rolls up, gets a near fall. Kenny hits a knee to Mark's face, Mark hits dead wish forearm, then a pump handle power slam and gets the victory and retains the 0G title. Jackie talks to Kenny and tries to recruit Kenny to join Polo Promotions. Kenny says, fucking do one. Yes, you heard me. Mark hits him with a forearm. Sweeney comes out, takes out Mark, grabs Polo, but Mark stops that, and Mark Coffey and Sweeney fight back to the dressing room. Next match after that was Damo versus Darkside. Darkside, looking for a test of strength, backfires, then slaps Damo and takes a boot for his work. Damo taking the fight to Darkside outside, misses kick, and Darkside dives on Damo, but Damo backdrops Darkside in the crowd. Damo hits Belfast Blitz on the outside, gets a near fall as he throws him back in the ring. Heel kick gets Darkside a near fall. Knee to the face gets a one count by Darkside, now wearing out Damo on the mat. Drop kick from the second rope gets Darkside a near fall. Damo gets a near fall in amongst that as well. Advantage Darkside throws kicks, but Damo just gets mad. Damo fights back rather. Standing Senton gets Damo a near fall, which is Damo standing on Darkside and then just jumps off Darkside's chest and then hits the senton. Darkside gets two German suplexes and gets a near fall. A forearm gets Damo a near fall. Double stomp to the head and back area gets Darkside a near fall. Darkside looks a chokehold but had to hit a DDT because Damo was looking to count out and gets a near fall. Darkside goes for another chokehold. Damo powers out, hits the double driver, and Damo gets the victory. Darkside wanted to fight Damo, went after him. Darkside thought better of it. Next match after that was Joe Coffey versus Noam Dar. Chain wrestling to start. and Da working on the arm of Joe Coffey. Joe working on the arm of Da, power advantage with Joe. Chain wrestling on the mat, Joe looking to wrestle Da looking to do the same thing to Joe. Great mat wrestling from Da, Joe getting near falls, now Joe working the arm of Da. Joe stretching till Da counted it and stretches Joe himself. Tit for tat, really. Still feeling each other out, if you can believe that, from what it seems. Da grabs a leg, gets a near fall, then two more back and forth near falls from both men. So even between the two. Test of strength, Coffey wins that. Quickness with Da, hits a drop kick and gets a near fall. Uppercut rocks Da, splashes on Da, then a drop kick from Da rocks Joe. Swing into a face first buster, gets Coffey a near fall. Da hits a German suplex, but Joe hits a discus clothesline and gets the win. Da and Coffey show respect. Da shoves Coffey, but they shake hands and all is cool. Now the main event to end the first match didn't quite much last long, to be fair. It was supposed to be BT Gunn versus Wolfgang. Wolfgang hits a spear, then hits a senton and gets the win. But it turns out that Wolfgang did not beat BT Gunn. It was Rob Cage. From behind, BT hits Wolfgang with a chair. NAK beat down Wolfgang, then put Wolfgang's head between the chair, the head of the chair, the top of the chair, whether the seat is. When you sit down on the chair, you sit down and you rest your back on this thing, on the back thing. NAK put Wolfgang's head between that and stomped his head, and BT covers Wolfgang and gets the win. And the referee did count that. NAK one step ahead of Wolfgang, BT working on Wolfgang, and it was just working on that non-stop. And that is the end of part 1. Thank you so much for checking that out. Thank you so much for listening to that. I'll be back with part 2, which involved a tag team title match. Grado versus Sha Samuels, and a Falls Count Anywhere match between NAK, Jack Jester, and Jimmy Havoc. So stay tuned for that, and I'll be back right after this. They say this is wrestling, but ladies and gentlemen, this is Progress Wrestling. And on July the 1st, Progress Wrestling comes to the Wrestling Matters podcast. That's right, Wednesday, July the 1st, I will present a podcast on Progress Wrestling, starting with Chapter 1, and from every week onwards, I will bring you every single show from that. ProgressWrestling.com, Progress Wrestling on demand service. Progress Wrestling comes to the Wrestling Matters podcast, July the 1st, only on SoundCloud, Stitcher Radio, YouTube, and OSW TV. Wrestling Matters, wrestling fans. Be sure to tune in every single Tuesday now for the Wrestling Matters Podcast Extra, where I'll be hosting a podcast on one promotion and one promotion only. ICW, Insane Championship Wrestling, the hottest promotion in Scotland. Well, I'll be reviewing their shows.
Oh my God!
Talking ICW.
That's 13-14!
And who knows, maybe getting some guests on. So be sure to tune in to the Wrestling Matters Podcast Extra ICW podcast, Insane Championship Wrestling, every Tuesday on YouTube, Podomatic, Stitcher Radio, downloaded free at iTunes, Mixcloud, and SoundCloud. Wrestling Matters, wrestling fans.
World, look into my eyes. When you see me on a show, when you see these fans, you know you've got the best in the damn world. We are ICW and you're gonna know our name. Here we fucking go!
Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, to the ICW podcast, Watch Your Boogle review. This is Watch Your Boogle the review, which took place in London on July 13th, 2014. Hope you're enjoying the podcast so far. And without further ado, we'll get right into part 2, which saw kick-off ICW Tag Team title match. We saw Greg Burridge filling in for Davey Boy, and Stevie Boy take on the London Riots. Many of you guys may remember or may know the London Riots if you're familiar with Progress Wrestling. More on that in a second. Burridge disses the London Riots. London Riot attack from the start. 2-arm drags Greg one step ahead of the London Riots. Stevie Boy tagged in, hits 3 drop kicks on Rob, hits a standing shooting star press, doesn't get all of it, and takes a clothesline by Rob and Rob gets a near fall. James gets a near fall off a power slam. Stevie Boy takes a drink to the face. James working on the neck of Stevie Boy. Suplex gets James a near fall. Advantage London Riot. Rob gets a near fall off a clothesline, wearing Stevie Boy out on the mat. Rob hits a suplex. London Riot isolates Stevie Boy. Stevie Boy hits an enziguri to create space, but London Riot attack till Kelly Ray hits a double drop kick. Greg gets tagged in, fight back on. Slingshot Sinton gets a near fall for Greg. Riots catch Stevie Boy with a power bomb. Stevie Boy kicks out. A double team power bomb. Riots looking to end this. Kelly Ray stops that. Stevie Boy gets a victory roll and gets the victory and retains the tag team championships for the Bucky Boys, for when Davey Boy eventually returned. Mark Dallas comes out to thank everyone for coming to see ICW, because apparently the World Cup was on at that day. Who else? On to the next match after that, which was Shah Samuels, representing at the time Polo Promotions, but you all know now Shah Samuels has been a member of the 55, going against Grado. Shah attacks Grado from the start. Shah slapping Grado until he runs into an elbow. Shah, that is. Grado hits a splash on Shah in the corner, taking the fight to Shah Samuels. Shah takes a backdrop from Grado, almost lands in the turnbuckle, then a clothesline. Advantage Grado. Fans holding Shah for Grado to attack. Grado hits a neck breaker in the ring and gets a near fall. Shah in trouble. Shah hits a clothesline, working on Grado. Advantage Shah. Shah throwing Grado in the crowd, throws a drink on him at the bar area. Shah just toying with Grado. Shah tying up Grado in the corner and then straps him with the dungarees that he comes out. If you've seen his ring attire where he wears them dungarees that he comes out with, well, he strapped Grado with them in the corner. Grado definitely feeling the pain. Shah gets a near fall. Shah chokes Grado with a scarf. Shah takes a boot, then elbow, fight back on for Grado. Grado hits a rolling slice, then hits his wee boot and gets the win. Grado wins it. Grado beats Shah Samuels. And then it was on to the main event, which saw a Falls Count Anywhere match, street fight, London street fight, whatever you want to call it, between Jack Jester and Jimmy Havoc versus the New Age Clique, Chris Renfrew and Dickie Divers. Havoc attacks NAK from the start. Divers hits Jimmy with a tray, no effect. Jimmy hits Dickie with a pan, and then Dickie goes to the outside, because that affected Dickie Divers. Jack hits Chris with his weapon, that crowbar thing that he always carries with him. Jimmy working on Divers outside at the bar. Jack working on Chris in the ring, opening up, ripping at the flesh. It's a fight, ladies and gentlemen. Jimmy DDTs Divers on the bar. Yes, you heard me right. Jack and Chris fight outside on the other side of the arena. Divers body slams, gets a near fall on the outside. This was at the bar area. He slammed him on one of them moving objects that you normally get backstage. Jimmy shoving the mic stick up the backside of Divers, literally. Fight goes onto the streets of London. Jack looking to throw Chris off the stairs. Then Chris tries to throw Jack off the balcony area. Jimmy gets a near fall on Divers at ringside. Clothesline Bulldog combo gets Jester a near fall. Havoc and Jester double team on Divers, NAK in trouble. Havoc on the top misses Stomp on Divers. Havoc looked to have injured himself. NAK working on Jack now with a chair, and Chris eventually breaks the frying pan on Jack. Jack fights back. Divers hits an enziguri on the outside and gets a near fall. Then Chris gets one in the ring on Jester. Numbers game with the NAK. Divers gets a near fall. NAK double team Jack with chairs. Chris gets a near fall, wearing out the champion of ICW. Jack hits a pedigree move on Divers and gets a near fall. Jack goes backstage, brings a barbed wire bat out and uses it on Divers, but Renfrew stops that and Divers uses it on Jack. Chris looking to hit Jack with a bat. But Havoc hits him with the chair, then hits Dickie with a guitar, then uses a chair on Renfrew, then hits Jester with a chair, first to the gut, then to the back, then to the face, then goes to work on Jack with the chair. Jester taking a beating from Havoc with the chair. Jimmy says he does not care what the fans think or say. He wants a rematch for the belt and says that Jack ducked Jimmy and got out of it by pussying out of it and wanting to do this tag match with him. You know, the NAK Street Fight tag match. Jimmy snaps and wants respect and says if he doesn't get respect he will kill Jester, and says he will come back to London with the ICW title and hates everyone, and says Dallas did not care about him and will take the ICW title and what is rightfully his. Is this the real Jimmy Havoc? And that's how the show ended, guys. 4 out of 5 for that. I liked it. And the heel turn as well. If you want to see the heel turn, if you can't see the heel turn and you want to see this heel turn that Havoc took on Jester just to get a title shot, then get yourself over to the ICW online on YouTube, because you'll be able to see it. It's titled Is This the Real Jimmy Havoc? So go and find it on YouTube. It'll be there. If not, I'll leave a link into descriptions, whether you're seeing this on YouTube or hearing this on SoundCloud or whatever. But with that being said, ladies and gentlemen, that is the end of the ICW podcast. As I said earlier on about the London riots, there are in Progress Wrestling. Be sure to check out the very first edition of the Progress Wrestling podcast. It is up tomorrow. You can hear it on OSW TV, our affiliate. Shout out to you guys. SoundCloud, YouTube, and Stitcher Radio, and anywhere else I can get it on. But mainly you can hear it on the OSW TV, SoundCloud, and YouTube. So be sure to check that out as well. And until next time, guys, thank you so much for tuning in to listen to this podcast. Tune in next week for another ICW podcast. Until then, peace out.
Well, enough is enough, and it's time for a change.
Professional wrestling! This is it! This is us standing up!
Yes! 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 Yes!
That's 13-14! American till death!
Dina, I am the best in the world.
Cause that's the bottom line! Cause Stone Cold Simpson!
If you like the Wrestling Matters podcast, why not check out the Wrestling Matters podcast Facebook fan page at www.facebook.com/WM podcast. Wrestling Matters, wrestling fans.